For more news, this is RCOF Television, Orlando, Florida. And now, Hallie Gillingham and Shannon Lesavoy, bringing you Channel 5's Eyewitness News on the 5.
Each year, millions of Americans enjoy hot summer days cooling off in water parks. But for a group of high school kids, the thrill of a water slide turned into a terrifying lesson. Tonight, we're going to dive into the wonders of a water park disaster. What, why, and how.
We'll be sharing a heart-wrenching water park accident, interviewing victims of the tragedy, and informing how to prevent history from repeating itself.
At Napa Valley High in Northern California, the senior trip tradition is to spend their last days together at the Water World USA before graduation. Along with the senior trip tradition, they incorporate clogging, which is breaking a record of packing more students on a water slide than the previous year. This year, the record was more than 70 students.
Here's the exact slide that the students would enter 40 feet up. How it's supposed to happen is students ride down one student at a time. An exhilarating rush of twists and turns that should end up leaving you plunging into a pool at the bottom in seconds. But these students had a different plan in mind. Here's what happened. They tried to fit as many kids on the slide as possible by stopping partway down the slide, allowing more and more students to pile behind. As student after student piled behind each other on the 40-foot slide, they heard a crack that would change their lives forever. The slide twisted and fell apart about 10 feet from the top. More than 30 were seriously injured, and one didn't make it to see another day.
Here we have valedictorian Stephanie Watson, a victim and fellow classmate that experienced that dreadful day.
You just don't think anything like this could happen to you. We knew it was against the rules and I thought it might break, but I pushed it out of my head like anything else. I remember sitting there, preventing myself from sliding, when all of a sudden, there was that horrible crack. I can still hear it in my dreams.
Many students experienced this nightmare, but how could it have been prevented?
The park did have warning signs at the bottom and a lifeguard at the top, but was that enough? Not enough to prevent the helicopter, sirens, and stretchers that engulfed the park that fateful afternoon. Kieran Burke, CEO of Premier Parks, which owns Water World USA and 12 other parks across America, explained that water parks are safe if people understand the rules and oblige by them.
Lifeguard supervisor at neighboring park explained that they could have prevented this by adding extra lifeguards at the bottom that would signal when someone hit the bottom instead of counting every couple of seconds.
You should follow the ride's procedures and rules, and everyone will have a safe and fun experience. But we're all kids, and we know kids break rules, so there needs to be more of an effort to prevent these types of situations from occurring, and hopefully we can all learn something from this tragedy.
This was Hallie Gillingham
And Shannon Lesavoy
with RCOF Channel 5's Eyewitness News on the 5. Thank you for listening, and have a great night.